Hello, Steve White, Steve RZ9. Well, I am continuing on with my gay movie marathon, and I just watched the 2016 film Fairhaven. Now, it got a small theatrical release and went to some of the film festivals, but it was primarily a Showtime release. Then it got a DVD release, and it really surprised me. It was really good. I really loved it. I wasn't expecting much from it because I'd seen a little bit, and it just looked like a cheap little film. Once I started watching it, I could see it was a professional Hollywood film, not Hollywood film, but Hollywood quality film. And it starred Tom Wopat as the father of Richard, who's dealing with his son James, who was sent to conversion therapy because he had a relationship with a boy called Charlie, and he also, I think, he was dealing with depression or issues because his mother had died recently. And the film starts off with the dad picking him up from conversion therapy, basically, and he's been fixed. He's straight now. But he's not happy. He finds out that his dad spent the money he was supposed to send him to college on the conversion therapy, because this is a money-making thing, these therapies and these courses and that, they cost a lot of money. So he sacrificed his future to save him. So he's not happy. Right away, his dad works on an apple farm. He's been working there they've been running it for generations, and he expects his son to stay and do that as well, because that's what he did. Even though he didn't really want to do that, he wanted to join the Marines, as we find out later in the film, but he stayed because he just accepted that you don't always get what you want. Sometimes you have to just do what's expected of you, and he wants his son to do that. So he's been living for his dad, for his ancestors, for the last 20 years, and he expects his son to do the same thing. And he did find a wife and was happy, but now she's gone. He's not happy. The son's not happy. Nobody's happy. And he goes to take, the son goes to take a bunch of apples to somewhere that they sell them to, because they produce them and distribute them locally. And Charlie works there, and he's happy to see him, but of course James is really rude and really cold, and when he comes back, he's worse. And he's like, look, if we're gonna work together, you have to be professional at least. I deserve some respect, basically. So he pulls his head in a little bit, and he starts dating a girl in town who's got a promise ring and everything, and they're trying to set him up with this nice girl, so he stays with her and they stay in the town, and he follows on his dad's dream of him running his business and everything, and he starts to fall for Charlie again. And it starts because the third time we see him go to this place to drop off the apples, Charlie isn't answering the door. So he goes in, he's annoyed because he's waiting, and then Charlie comes out and he's been really badly beaten. I sort of gasped when I saw him because I wasn't expecting that. He's got a broken arm and his face is all messed up, and he got it was a hate crime. He got attacked in the town because his car was broken down and he was walking home. So he said, well, you can't walk home. I'll drive you home. And he said, no, you don't have to do that. I don't want, you obviously don't want to have anything to do with me. Fine. He's like, no, I will drive you home. What time do you finish? It's like 9 o'clock. He said, okay. So when he gets home, his dad and this girl have already arranged for him to have dinner with her and her parents. And he goes, I'm like, is he going to stand Charlie up? Is he going to leave Charlie there at like 9 o'clock waiting, thinking he's going to be picked up on that? No, he gets up in the middle of the dinner at 9 o'clock. He sees the 8:55 time on the clock. He's like, is that right? That time? And they're like, yeah. He said, I got to go. And he goes, didn't even explain to them what he was doing. Like, he could have told them, I got to pick a friend up at 9 o'clock. So, because the dinner was at 7:30. In theory, they could have kind of had the dinner by 9 and to get him out so he could do both. But he just gets up and goes. I'm like, cool. So he picks him up and they start talking, of course, as he drives him home each night. He eventually they end up just meeting up on a Saturday and hands touch, he reconnects. The whole time we see him going to, I think, more conversion therapy sessions, maybe aftercare or something, or maybe just remembering the sessions that he had when they relate to the things he's experiencing in the moment. But we see a lot of really ridiculous examples of what they apparently tell kids and what they try and teach kids, and it's all based on a certain fictional fairy tale book. I'm not mentioning anything that's going to, get me in trouble in this video, because certain people control the algorithm, and you can't speak about certain groups without basically getting shut down or your videos deleted or your channel shut down. It's pretty bad. So eventually they end up back together within the same night pretty much, and they end up sleeping together in the barn. And the next morning the dad can't find him to go to church, and the girl showed up and she's like, ringing him on the phone. He's not answering. He didn't answer last night. Take a hint. But no, she tracks him down. Hears the phone ringing in the barn. Goes, has a go at them. Storms off. Kind of outs them to the father again. The father is upset. He basically leaves, goes to be with Charlie, and they basically decide, look, you have to leave. We're just going to go. And he's like, yep, let's go. Literally join the circus, which apparently was a plan of theirs earlier. And eventually he goes back to the home to pack up, and the dad comes home when he's playing piano, because I don't know if I even mentioned he plays piano, and that's where wants to go away and study his music. And his dad wanted to play earlier in the film some music. He was playing some angry music, and he said, play that song your mother loved, and he wouldn't play it. He walked off. He's playing that song that his mother used to love, and the dad comes in, and immediately he assumes there's going to be a conflict, and the dad has decided in the interim day or so after they had this argument and he stormed off, that he was living for his parents, and he was unhappy, and he needed to start living for his son. Even if he was unhappy, he may as well be unhappy for his son than unhappy for ghosts. So he decides to sell the farm to some people who are trying to buy it to make it into an organic apple farm. So he sells it basically. He told him I've already sold it. So you've got the money now to go away and study. I've got the money to retire. Maybe we'll both be happy. So it's a beautiful ending. Him and Charlie leave to go live in Boston together, where he studies. And it's a really good film, well acted. Both the leads are cute. Tom Wopat's, still a sexy older man. I've always liked Tom Wopat more than Schneider. Schneider was the pretty boy in Dukes of Hazzard. And the main concern I had with this film was when I saw it was about conversion therapy and Tom Wopat was involved, because of the association with John Snyder, who's been red-pilled. I was worried this was going to be a pro-gay conversion therapy film, but it's absolutely not. Tom, I'm assuming he has to be okay with it on some level to have starred in this film, so I think he's still with reality. He hasn't been taken into the cult. He's not mentally ill like all those people that have to be a part of that cult have to be mentally ill to be sucked into it and stay in it. But so yeah, the acting was great, the story was good, the characters were good, everything, the cinematography, the music, everything was really good. Quality film, well done, enjoyed it enough to watch it again. All the concerns I had before watching it were, off base, and I was really surprised and happy, and I really enjoyed it so much I paused it about 5 times and dragged it out over a whole day because I didn't want it to end, and I just had to keep absorbing moments and scenes and then sort of have a break and come back to it, which I sometimes find myself doing with films now. If they're good, sometimes I need to take a moment because it's but yeah, it's nearly 8 minutes, wasn't supposed to be this long. I'm trying to keep my reviews to 5 minutes, but it's hard when there's stuff you actually want to talk about in the films. But yeah, I'm going to go before it gets to 8. Feel free to share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this film if you've seen it. If you haven't, see it, it's great.